Well, hey everyone. Welcome to another issue of Jay and Bax's Expensive Paper. We are so happy to be hanging out with you tonight. Um, tonight's issue is all about our experience at Twin Cities Con 2025. So we'll be giving a rundown of that and go over um, the things that we did and saw and bought, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. So, Jay, what were your thoughts?
Twin Cities Con. It's definitely the biggest pop culture convention in probably the entire state. Um, I enjoyed my time. I was a bit disappointed in the comic book scene. There weren't that many vendors, and the stuff they had, not that it wasn't good, it just wasn't what I was looking for. But the convention itself was good. We had a good time. We were there since they opened at 10 and we didn't leave till past 5. So, that's 7 hours that we were there. If I wouldn't had a good time or thought it was a bust, I don't think we would have been there that long.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed. I think that was one of the longer ones for us. Um, but yeah, I agree with you. I wish that there were a bit more comic book vendors, but still had a good time. I always like seeing what local artists have got and what they've made, and just talking to those like the booth vendors and the artists. I always have a good time with it. So
yeah, it was fun. We did some good things. Like you said, I think it was one of the longest ones we've been to, except for Star Wars Celebration when we went in Chicago.
oh yeah. Yeah,
I
that's right.
think
That was like
I think that beats it.
3 or 4 days of just nonstop Star Wars,
Yes.
which was uh yeah, that was a good time too. And I remember feeling very tired after that con, getting
We
home.
were we were very tired and it was nonstop because we had the party too. Hey John, thanks for joining.
Hey, welcome.
Um, and they had that casino party, you remember? Because it was after The Last Jedi. So they had that casino party at the Science Museum, was it?
Yeah, the Science Museum. Yeah.
So that was a very late night. And then
It was a late night.
the following day was the opening of the con. And we were there early. We were there right when it opened.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, nonstop. Because we were also in Chicago, so we were doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, definitely worth going to Twin Cities Con. Um,
What was
if
your highlight?
my highlight was um, probably meeting the Pink Ranger and Paul Dini. Those were my two highlights. Um,
I agree with you on that. Yeah. Amy Jo Johnson, she was super nice. Um, I think you had spotted a couple of comic books available for sale at her
yeah,
table.
yeah,
And
because
it's
we
kinda
were,
interesting because they had you pay first, which they typically do, and um, then you got in, like, this really long line. Um,
yeah, I think we went about it the wrong way because we got in line thinking that we would pay at the front because that's
yeah,
what they had done with Paul Dini. So I thought it was just
right.
going to be the same.
Yep.
And it wasn't. First you paid, then you got in line.
Yeah.
So you were already in line because I had gone. Um, I don't remember where I went.
You were doing a CGC drop off, which we'll talk
Okay.
about too, our first
Yep.
experience with that at a
That's
con.
right. So when you got in line, or when I wanted to catch you in line, I walked by the table and saw two comic books. Um, and I thought one of them was Frozen. So when I told you about it, and we realized that we had done it backwards, you went to the table and came back, and indeed it was a Frozen.
Yeah, it was the San Diego, Comic-Con exclusive, that variant. And so, yeah, I went up to the table and I was like, "Well, how much for like an autograph? How much for this comic and a selfie?" and they're like, "Oh yeah, that whole combo that you just described is like $100." I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just do that then." And that I thought that was actually super affordable for the experience. You get the Friesen um, variant with Amy Jo's autograph, and you get to meet her and take a picture with her. So I was pretty happy with that. Uh,
Yeah, it was a good deal. There were some Star Wars celebrities. I won't name names, but one of them, the autograph alone, I think was 160 or 180,
yep.
and it also was cash only.
Yeah.
So, for $200 or $100, I'm sorry, you got the book, which was a variant, an
Hmm.
exclusive, the autograph, and a selfie.
Hmm.
So, you're paying $33 and change for each of those things when in reality is that they're probably worth double what we paid for. So,
Yeah. Like Amy Jo Johnson, she was super nice, and she was pretty stoked that I bought her book because she wrote that comic with her boyfriend. So um, yeah, I told her I was gonna read it probably online. Um, so getting back to the CGC drop off, I wasn't expecting on bringing anything that day, but you had brought some stuff, and so then I got to experience uh, what that was like too. So.
yeah, because, well, while we were waiting in line, you went onto your phone, brought up your web browser, and filled out the form so that then we could just do the drop off. So that was super nice that we could do that because then you only had to print the form
At the
at the
table.
counter.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Um,
they had a laptop available, and some
mhm.
people weren't totally prepared. So, I think when we were waiting for you to do your drop off, there were a couple people, in front of us that,
Mhm.
they just weren't ready for it at all. So they had
No,
to go
they
through the whole rigmarole of.
they had never done it, so they had to go through the process of registering, then submitting the form, then printing it, and I think it was funny because while we were waiting in line, we kind of became like the experts, where we had a couple of people come up and ask us, yeah, experts,
Careful with
come
that
up and
word.
ask us questions about how the whole thing worked, and if I
Yeah.
drop this off, is it going to be is it a witness signature, or is it because they're here, and or is it going to be the authenticated? And so it was fun, and it felt good helping people out, and
Yeah.
it's not witness because you're not taking the person from CGC to the table and see the the celebrity, do the signature, then put it in the bag, and then sending it over. So I think that was fun, that we got to explain that. I was disappointed that they did not have a witness that you could take, because I would have definitely done that with my Paul Dini books. But
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer because they just had that one CGC representative, and I think on the JSA side they had two people, but there's
yes,
just one gal working
yes,
the CGC table for like the entire con, and
and
then
and the
apparently,
JSA. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, apparently, like, some higher up in like the con org needed like their private collection submitted. So then like we lost the CGC person for like around 2 hours because
Yes,
I got the autograph from Amy Joe and was gonna go drop it off, and then had to wait for quite some time. So we just kept kind of coming
kept
back to it
looking.
and
Yep.
checking out other things. But yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say about JSA?
Yeah. Um, JSA was also doing the authentication right there on site. So,
Mm,
they did not ship the collectibles to another location. Whereas obviously with CGC it was just a drop off because they didn't have the graders there or the
yeah,
witnesses. And
yeah, the
hey,
witnesses.
Adam,
Yep.
thanks for joining. But yeah, Amy Jo was really nice. This is this is the book we both got. So foil, and I think it said almost the same thing. It's Morphing Time, Amy, JoJo, and Kimberly, which is the name of her character as the Pink Power Ranger. Um, so that was fun. You got to talk to her about the book. I got to talk to her about restaurants in Mexico City. So that was also fun. It's always they when they ask for recommendations, because they're gonna go to a con or something like that, and you can bring up places that other people can't, and you make that, quick 5-minute connection.
Yeah.
Not even 5 minutes, but it's always fun
Yeah.
to
Just
do that.
nice having, lighthearted conversation with them.
Yep,
So,
yep. Not necessarily the oh my god, you were my idol growing up,
yeah. Yeah. I
and
know. I really
because
try not to do that, even though I was like, so,
you
I kind of
wanted
got,
to, because
yeah. It's like,
you grew up with the
I
Power
grew up with it.
Rangers.
They were, yeah.
I I like them because my nephew, who's probably just a couple years younger than you, he grew up on them, so I like them by proxy because we had to watch them
Yeah.
because he was watching them.
Yeah.
But for you, they were your jam.
Yeah. Those were my heroes, as, a young kid in elementary school. So I told you like right before I got up there, I was like, oh man, I'm feeling nervous. It's just like, which doesn't happen
Yeah,
very often, but
and I
yeah.
made some comments to you that I was going to be the embarrassing uncle and make some
Yeah.
comments about
Yeah.
your
But no, I pulled it together luckily. And,
yeah,
no, I did talk to her too about if she got to collaborate with Jenny, Frizen on that cover at all. She said she didn't, she just had her own ideas and sent them over. And that's kind of how it went down. But she also did say that Jenny was just super nice to work with. So
which is what I've
yeah.
heard, throughout. John here, is if he's still in the chat. From HeroesCon, he got me an exclusive and signed Jenny Frison, which I'm thankful.
Nice.
And you can't see it because it's on my signature wall. Um, but he said the same thing, that she's just super nice and such a cool human being and just super humble, even though she's got all this cool art and attention.
Yeah.
She's just a phenomenal human being, which is great to hear.
Yep. Cool. So should we show some footage that
Yeah,
we ended up
I think
taking?
you put a quick video together
Yeah,
of our
just a
experience.
quick
So,
one. So here you can, and I don't know if that's going to be problematic, this pause and play button, but yeah, you can kind of see how many people are in like the holding area before they got let in. Um, I will say it was super interesting because it felt like maybe there weren't as many people as years past. And then we ended up hearing that they opened up a whole nother area of the convention center. And so that may have been what was like contributing to that feeling of like, wow, there's a lot of space. And I wasn't used to that at a convention because usually it's like shoulder to shoulder and you're like shuffling through people. And there was like a lot of space to walk, and it's a Saturday, right? That's usually like the busiest day. So it was, yeah, it was definitely interesting.
yep.
So
And I think it also coincided that in Minnesota it was deer hunting opening.
it was deer
So
hunter, yeah, deer
that's a
hunting
big
opening
thing. If you're
opener.
if you're as far as north as we are, being outdoors is a big thing, and deer hunting is a big one. Adam, I think the biggest creator that we have, at least for me, was Paul Dini. I don't know, Bax, if you can think of any other.
Yeah, as far as comics go, that was probably the biggest name.
Right.
That was the thing
Create
too, is like we've had bigger names in the past too. Um,
Not from comics though. We've had bigger celebrities.
well, I don't. Would you consider Mike Zeck? I mean, we've had Neil Adams and
But that was
like
Galaxy Con. That was not
no,
Twin
no, no,
Cities
no.
Con.
Well, was it? No.
Yes, it
Was it
was.
Galaxy? Okay.
It was
Because something
Galaxy.
happened where, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. It was a different organization
That's
at
where I
that
got
point.
my Secret Wars and Craven's Last Hunt prints autographed by him.
Okay.
And you got the Neil Adams, which we had a super weird experience because you were in front of me and he was super nice to you. And then I was going to get something and he was just not happy with me for whatever reason. So I ended up
I
not getting anything.
and like I don't know. Rest in peace, Neil. I
Just,
think
I'm not judging. He was just
I
not happy.
I don't yeah, so here's what I remember from that experience is that I was talking to him and I got like some print signed. It was some
Hmm. Yep.
Spider-Man cover that he did. And he had all these giant binders
Yes.
and you were paging through them. And I don't know, maybe it was like the way that you were handling it, but then we realized it was his original artwork, and he's asking like $2,000, $5,000 for like this
Oh, I
original
knew
artwork.
it was TOA. I just, I don't
Yeah,
know how you handle it. I was just flipping through the pages. It's not like I was, oh, what is this? And shaking it or something. He was just not happy. So for
yeah,
whatever reason. But anyway,
yeah.
um,
Anyway, so back to this one. But yeah, Paul Dini is definitely the biggest name.
yeah. As far as
Um,
celebrities, we had, a couple Star Wars. Rosario Dawson was there,
yeah,
but she
for
was only
Friday.
there Friday.
Hmm.
She wasn't there the whole weekend. We had Giancarlo Esposito there.
Hmm.
I don't remember
We were
his name.
surprised that his line wasn't longer.
I was very surprised.
Yeah,
But then, with the prices he was charging, I'm not surprised either.
I didn't see the prices, but yeah.
Um, it was not cheap.
Okay.
And then we also had the guy that plays Ezra in the Ahsoka series. I forget his name. I'm sorry. I don't remember what it is because that was the big Star Wars draw this year. And then we had the Mummy cast with
Hmm.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
I don't remember what her name is, but she's the gal that play Anaxuna Moon. I think that's her name in the movie. Um,
I haven't seen it in years. I
and
couldn't
two
tell you.
others.
Yeah.
I just remember because being from Mexico and pyramids, I'm just fascinated by that culture, and that's a name that stuck with me.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong because it's also been years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
So there were some big celebrities, and then of course, being pop culture, if you're into anime, there were a ton of voice actors.
Yeah. And
Which
I had no idea who
yeah,
a
I
lot of those
was
people were just because uh, I'm not deep into that.
yeah,
Um,
not being deep into it, I couldn't
yeah.
tell you who they were, but their lines, they were big.
Yeah. They were super
They
popular.
were
So,
long. Had a couple wrestlers too, Sting,
good
Mick
wrestler.
Foley.
Yes. Sting was a big draw because apparently it's like this is like the last time he's appearing in Sting makeup. So
Mhm.
this year is, and then he's done with it. I heard some people were disappointed with the experience because he only stayed for like 3 hours, and so it sounded like
That was
maybe
surprising because that line was one of the biggest lines at the
they had to
con.
cap it because it was so long. But I don't know that everyone got the chance to meet him.
That would be a bummer if I were
So
there to see him because I know the wrestling fans are pretty hardcore. So
yeah, yeah. So Sting was there, and then Mick Foley, who was Mankind and Cactus Jack,
yep.
and
And
then
there were
X Pac.
two others were there, weren't they? I don't remember who
Oh,
else.
there's just I think then it was just X Pac. I think they just had the three.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then you're right because I was at I can't remember what booth I was at, but it was like they had all these like wrestling books and like
Yeah.
souvenirs and
There was
autographs and
there was
stuff.
someone
And
else.
then I was like going around the table, and then all of a sudden it's like there's all these pictures you can buy of like Ken Anderson. I'm like, what? This is super random. And then like I just like looked up, and it's like, oh, there's Ken Anderson. He's like eating a sandwich. So I didn't say anything. I just, I just like that's right. I didn't. He wasn't advertised or anything.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay. You want to keep going through the video?
sure. So yeah, you can kind of see like just like the random like art booths and
Yeah.
crafts and stuff for sale.
T-shirts, 3D
T-shirts, yeah,
printing
just like
stuff.
yeah, a lot of that stuff is cool. It's fun to look at. I liked this one. I'm usually not too impressed with like 3D prints, but this one got me. It was like I actually thought this guy did a really great job, and like those TGRI canisters are 3D printed too. Go back for a second. Um, oh, that's annoying. So yeah, I was debating about picking one of these up, but ultimately I didn't. I just thought they looked cool and would be like a nice desk ornament or something. So I didn't even unfortunately I didn't check the prices on them either, so I couldn't tell you how much they were. There was like a fun like oh, what's that called? The name is escaping me. That group, that Star Wars group, the 601
Oh, the
or
501st.
501st. Thank you, man. It's Friday. Yeah, the 501st was there, and then I think they had like some meet and greets and some or like not meet and greets, but like cosplay meetups for like
Yep,
all the
they
Star
had a
Wars
ton
people.
of cosplay meetups.
Yeah,
Had a Marvel one, Star Wars one,
yeah. That Chewie was
anime
awesome.
one.
He
That
was
Chewbacca,
great.
and he was tall. He's
I think
taller than
he,
you, and you're tall.
yeah, I think he had stilts on though, and I think you can kind of see those stilts like if you look right underneath like where that knee is, because I when he walked by us, I heard like almost like a spring. It's like "Dirk, dirk." So I think that's what the deal was. But yes, he probably is also a tall individual. So, and then they had like this fun like Japanese like arcade or claw machine alley. So of course I had to play that, and hooray, I got a side duck. So that was fun. And then Jay wanted a side duck too, but
Then I wanted a
unfortunately,
side dog, but
yeah,
fortunately, the lady didn't help me like she helped you because she basically just put that in you for you to just do quickly. She opened the machine and kind of like,
she
here's a
saw we were
gift.
such big influencers. It's just like, oh wow, I got to get
Right,
yeah
right,
on their show, and she's like, here, let me
right.
help you out. So yeah, what did you pick up there?
Well, I showed the prison, and then the other person that I wanted to meet was Paul Dini. So,
And for anyone
um,
not familiar, he contributed quite a bit to Batman the animated
Batman
series
the
and
animated series.
Superman, yeah,
So,
and so a
Superman,
bunch of other stuff too. So
Justice League,
yeah,
Justice League Unlimited. So I had him sign this. He was a co-writer in this. Bad Girl Adventures.
oh sorry, I should have zoomed in on you. Hold on, show that one more time. There we go. I thought he was very nice, and he was
He
taking
was
time to
super
interact
nice.
with his fans, and he's talking about some stories that he was working on, and some people in line were talking about stories they were working on, and he was very encouraging, which I thought was super nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He wasn't like, oh, it sucks. This industry is rough or anything like
yeah,
that.
or
He
like
was
yeah,
like
good luck,
super
kid.
like, yeah,
He's like, oh, tell me about that. Like,
yep.
yeah,
And then the other one that I had him sign is, I think, this is one of the best Batman movies ever. Uh, Mask of the Phantasm. Um, you can't see the signature because he signed it on the inside. He said he did not want to sign it on the front cover. Thanks, Adam. It is a great book. He didn't want to sign it on the front cover because it's glossy and he was afraid that it would smear. So he signed it on the inside, which I thought was really cool. Um, Unfortunately, I can't see it unless I open it. And this is the one of the few ones that I'm afraid to open because it's a square bound
oh
book.
yeah,
So I don't want to handle it too much. But just being there and the experience and having the collectible now signed by him in what I think again is, if not the best Batman movie ever, was really really fun. And then you picked up a bunch of Scotties, right?
I did. Do you want to before I pivot to my stuff? You want to talk about the figure that you got?
We can. I just don't
Oh, you don't have it nearby, or
know. You can't see it with this angle,
okay, that's fine.
but
That's cool. Yeah, Jay ended up picking up a 2010 Diamond Select creature from the Black Lagoon. and K figure, um, which is
Right.
pretty cool. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, yeah, we can't see it from that angle, but let me see if I can. Nope, that's not gonna
Nope.
work. Let's try this. Let's make me. Yeah, there we
Ah,
go. You can
there we
kind of see
go.
it.
So around Halloween, I got it had been ages, literally ages, since I last saw the Universal monster movies. And I saw them. I'm not going to say all because not all, but the main ones: Wolfman, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature of the Black Lagoon. And ever since then, it's been a short time, but I've been um, fascinated by Creature. Just it's 1954, and how they did the custom. How it wasn't like it didn't have any zippers or anything, and it was like latex. And there was this guy who was an Olympic swimmer or diver, can't remember, but he could hold his breath up to 4 minutes underwater, and that's how they did a lot of the scenes. And we're talking
Rico
about Rico,
Browning.
Rico,
I think his
Rico
last name's.
Browning. Yeah, I
I'll
think
have to
so.
check.
Um, doing the underwater scenes and just it looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
And we're talking about 1954. It's all practical effects. So ever since a couple of weeks ago, I've been fascinated with Creature and saw this collectible pretty much when we got there. But not knowing what else I could get, I didn't want to get it right away. But then towards the end, as we were about to leave, we walked by the stand and it was still there. So I just got into the oh, nice. Now I'm jealous, Adam.
that's sweet.
Thank you for that. Because now we can't get him. Thank rest in peace.
Yeah,
But it was. I just started talking to the dealer, and she was super nice. Um, I asked her how much she wanted. She said, $100. I asked her if she had any wiggle room, because me being from Mexico, I always have to haggle. Um, she said she did have some wiggle room. How about 90? I said I was thinking around 80. And then because I asked her, does it come with a box? And it didn't. So that was a downside. So she took out her phone and started going through eBay last sold. And really, where most of the things without a box were about was 85. So I just say, okay, let's just meet right in the middle, 85, done deal. It's on your phone. You have it pulled up. She said, yes, we sealed the deal. And we moved on, and I'm pretty stoked with it. I don't know if that's where it's gonna live because it's on top of the printer, and the printer has a scanner bed, so I don't want to move it anytime. Although we really don't scan documents anymore, but if we have to change the ink on the printer, then I have to open it, and I don't want to handle it too much because it's not fragile per se, but just don't want to handle it too much. So
yeah, makes sense.
I don't know if
That's
that's
pretty
where
cool.
it's gonna live or I'll find another space around the house.
Nice.
And speaking of Creature, um, I got a print from
Oh yeah,
Jim
that's right.
Messling.
Oh, sorry. Say the
Um,
name again. I probably cut you off there.
Jim Messling. This beautiful print that he signed for me.
Yeah, that was awesome. That that reminds me too. I can't unfortunately remember the artist's name, but I was talking to him and I was trying to scan like the QR code to go to the website so I could check out more of the work, and it didn't work unfortunately. And then I also saw on their on their banner it said this work is not was not produced using AI. And I was like, "What? Have you been accused of that?" And said, "Yeah, unfortunately." And so much so that the artist is now going to uh, move away from producing digital art and just going back to doing painting or other types of physical media. So I felt bad because those accusations like cause them to completely
Yeah.
change the way that they're having to do their artwork and share that with the world. And it was just like it was so obvious too, like that stuff is not it was not AI generated. Um it's like if you work at these models enough, you get to understand like the patterns and how they're creating the images, and they become really easy to like spot out.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was
and they're
crazy
not
to see. And
in a word, they're
yeah, I
not
just
that different from human drawings. Like there's parts of the human body that are hard to draw, right? Like hands, fingers. Even the AI, when you look at things that are AI, you can still see there that it was not created by a human, for example, you know. But like you said, if you look at the models, some of the expressions, because one eye is looking this way and the other one is looking this way, that type of thing.
or just like the way that like the light reflects, it's just
Yeah, the light source is not
subtle
where it needs
things
to
you can
be.
tell it's
Right.
just not something is off. It's just not it's just not natural. It's like our eyes can pick up on it like the more that you see it. Even with like these AI models, they're getting so good where they can do hands perfectly, you know. Um so it's yeah. Hopefully it's not going to be a growing trend and kind of ruin that scene. But yeah.
Yep. I guess another name that I forgot to mention that we had was Mark Brooks,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
because he did the art for our Saturday batch, and he got to sign it.
Sorry, we're fighting over the controls here.
There, I have it. So beautiful black cat art, and he got to sign that. And if he signed the batch, he did it for free, which was great.
Yeah.
And of course, um, being me, and we were at his booth waiting for him to sign, I had to get this print that he signed right here. And well, it's Fantastic Four, so of course I'm gonna get it.
Yep.
This was
Yeah,
only
how
20
could we have
bucks,
forgotten
so
him? Oh, that's terrible.
yeah, shame on us.
I know.
Blame it on our old age.
Yeah. Friday night. So yeah, my pickups, like I said, I got the Jenny Frizen, Amy Jo Johnson signature on that variant, and then submitted it. So I don't have it with me, and I hope I get it back from CGC soon. I keep checking the site, and I haven't seen confirmation of them receiving it, but I also, yep, this is
It
live.
is
Welcome.
live. Hey, Jason. He's gonna be on our show soon, so
Oh, sweet.
stay tuned to our socials for an upcoming date.
Awesome. So yeah, yeah, I can't wait to get that back. I keep checking CGC, but I also know it takes a while. I think that one time, Jay, that I submitted, I swear it took like, I don't know, 3 months or something before we even got like a status that they scanned it in, received it. So I know it can take a while, but
Yeah, this last two batches of books that I've sent, one from Jeff, one from Matt at Empress Comics. It took a good 2 months to get stuff back.
yeah,
So
cool.
it,
So
it is
yeah,
taking a while.
yeah. So I'll keep checking, but I'll be glad when I have that back in my collection. So, but other than that, I picked up some Scotty Young goodies. I love that Chewbacca cover.
Poor Han Solo. He's
Yeah,
mad.
it's annoyed. Got Edge of the Spider Verse. I got this classic one here, and then I ended up. You'll see it on the top shelf there, up in the corner. Hold on, zoom in. Whoop, right there. I got those two, which is oh, forgive me. I can't, is it the Eight Deaths of Spider-Man?
The Deaths of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep. I haven't read that yet, but that's where those are from. Now there we go. So
Yeah. Is that all you got?
that's all I got, man. Oh yeah, and of course, Psyduck right here, just
Psyduck.
hanging out on the desk now. Psyduck.
Yeah, I guess the only other things that I got were a couple pieces of art um, from our friend CK, the Art of CK, who I met at one of our local LCSs in the cities, the Source. He was there during Free Comic Book Day this past year. Was it this year or the one before? I can't remember.
I couldn't make. I don't think either. So
No, you didn't. Um, but we talked, we hit it off, we've been in contact. I think he's also going to be on the show in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But he does like anime style characters, even though they're not necessarily anime, and he uses all sorts of different mediums. So, for example, he's got this. I got this Doctor Doom.
yeah, that's awesome. Hold on, let me zoom in. That's sweet.
And it's ink.
I don't remember you getting that.
I don't know where you were. You were probably looking at cosplayers and people watching, because it was towards the end of the day, and I think you were kind of getting ready to go.
Yeah, I was getting gassed out by the end for sure.
But this is ink on a brown grocery bag.
Cool.
So he uses all sorts of mediums, and then he'll blow them up. He'll print them and sell the prints. If you don't want the original art. But I saw this, and of course, being Doctor Doom, I had to get it. And then, if you know me, apart from being an FF nut and Spider-Man nut and Batman nut, you know that I'm a gamer. One of the first games I remember getting on the PlayStation was Resident Evil 3. So if you know Resident Evil 3, you know who this is.
Jill
Valentine. And yeah, this is colors. I don't know what he used to color it, but it's just gorgeous. And it was not expensive either, so
cool.
Got that. And yeah, Adam, that piece is beautiful, and of course the camera doesn't do it justice if you have it in front of you outside of the bag. It looks terrific. I'm gonna get some frames for those. But of course I'm running into the issue that most of us collectors are with space. So then the only other couple things that I got were from actual my LCS where I go every Wednesday. They had a booth, and of course I always go through their Fantastic Four. And I got these because this is a Peach Momoko.
Yeah.
And of course, there's Jeff the Land Shark, which I know he's just a cash grab, but I love that guy. Even some of the comics, if you've read them on Marvel Unlimited, they're pretty funny. It's right here. But I know it's just a cash grab, but whatever. I like it. And then this cover, which I didn't have. I don't know if this is a key or not. This obviously are not part of the volume 1 run that I'm trying to complete. And then of course another peach because it's Doctor Doom. So yeah, that was all I got.
You did remind me, and I wanted to bring this up. I got an email from Marvel, and I don't know how many people out there have ever messed around with the developer portal and their APIs. But I like to tinker with that stuff. So unfortunately, they did send out an email saying that portal is going to be sunset. So you can't do that anymore. But they hope that everyone was able to build cool stuff with the world's greatest comics API. So to thank everyone, they are giving 1 month free of Marvel Unlimited with this code. So it's NOV 2025. I can put that in the chat here. So and I'll highlight that. There we go. So that code, Yeah, there we go. That code will get you 1 month for free, and for Marvel Unlimited. So
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning you were tinkering with the API because at one point we wanted to build an app for comics. So we were exploring different possibilities as to what that may look like. Um, but of course,
yeah,
it never materialized because we need time and it's in short supply these days, it looks like.
yes, it is. It's hard enough to just keep the show going. So, but it was a nice thought we had, and then the idea that we had ended up getting created anyways. So
Yeah, it was just a
yeah,
matter of time.
yeah,
It was a good idea, but it wasn't anything earth shattering that was going to
yeah,
revolutionize the world. So somebody else was going to think of it, and they did, and they beat us to market. But it's fine because even if we had built it without this API now, it wouldn't matter. So
yeah. It would be well, yeah. We'd be scrambling for some other source of data, but yeah. So cool. So that was our experience at Twin Cities Con. If you ended up going, let us know in the comments, like what your thoughts were. Even if you're from out of state, let us know what con you've got coming up and what you're looking forward to, and who the main draw is that you're excited for. So, so yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out with us again on another episode of Jay and Bax's Expensive Paper. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one.
keep flipping those pages.
We'll see you in the next issue.